All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to you. Happy Monday. It is Monday, January 11th, 2020. This morning, we're going to talk about how to build a business from scratch. I get this question quite often, and this morning, we're going to dive into it. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Good morning to you and happy Monday. I get this question quite a bit. The title of this morning's show in different ways, but basically, a couple different ways that most people ask is, what drove you to start your business? How did you do it? How do you build a business from nothing? How do you actually just get started? And so I wanted to cover that this morning. I think it's a topic that, in the future here, as we continue down this path in our country, I think that people are going to be more and more likely to start businesses. And what I wanted to share with you guys this morning is exactly, how that kind of happens. How do you actually start a business, and what you will gain, what you will lose from starting that business, right? And when it comes down to it, guys, it is really simple to start a business. And when you make a decision that you actually want to start a business, the next sensible step is to just do it, right? It's to just pull the trigger and move forward. And the biggest thing that you have to have, what does it take to start a business? The first thing you have to have is a dream, right? The second thing you need to do is just make the decision to actually start. So how do you do that? Well, it's very, very, very simple. You literally just go to your state, or you can go online to something like LegalZoom.com and you can register your business. It's very simple. There's different structures, the way that you can do it. A lot of people choose the path of an LLC as their business. But you can literally just get some advice. You can call somebody that already owns one and they can walk you through that process. But it's very simple. You just register your business. You get a tax ID number. You make your business legal. And so after you register your business, then what? Well, businesses, and this is something that, I think more people are becoming familiar with these days because of just the absolute domination of digital, right? Of technology, is that, in the old days, marketing was very different than what it is today. But the most critical thing that you can do is figure out how to market your business, right? Because one of the most important lessons that I have learned is that if somebody doesn't know who you are, then they are unable to purchase anything from your business. They're unable to do business with you if they don't know you or they don't know your business. So it starts with a dream. The second step is making the decision to actually take the leap and start. And then you just go through the process of registering your business and starting to market your business. And, outside of those things, what does it take to start a business? I would say that the most important step of all of them is the last thing that I'm going to tell you here. And that is to make a decision that you are never, ever, ever going to quit. And that, friends, is the recipe of how you create a successful business. It's the most important thing that you can do is just decide not to quit. What else does it take to start a business? Well, there's a lot of things that you can do to make it easier. And that is, surround yourself with the right people, get the right mentors, connect with people who have done this kind of thing before and get some advice from them, create a plan. You can have an instinct that something is a really good idea. I talk to people all the time who have, ideas of things that they want to do, businesses that they want to start. but how do you actually verify that that's going to be a successful business? And I would challenge you to say that the most important thing that you can do in that sense is to actually run the numbers, right? To not just have a hunch, not just have, something that tells you something is a good idea, but actually be able to run the financials and kind of reverse engineer. How many customers do I need? How many sales do I need? What is the average sale for this type of business? And, can I, based on the market that I'm in, or if I can take this online, can I actually make this a viable business from a financial standpoint? So there's a lot of things that you can do to make it more likely that you succeed. And those are some of the things that you can do. As I was thinking through this topic, and what to talk about, I wanted to also talk about, what do you gain and what do you lose by building a business, by owning a business, starting a business. Some of the things that I wrote down that you would gain is the number one thing, and the thing that I think drives a lot of people. It's not the number one driver, but it's up there, is freedom, right? You gain a level of freedom, right? You work for yourself. So on the flip side of that, there is a high level of responsibility that comes along with owning a business or starting a business, especially in the first few years. So while you gain the freedom to make your own decisions, you also you lose some freedom as well, because you will feel the pressure of being in the middle of building that business, and the pressure that is that comes along with that is significant, especially if you have other people that are working alongside of you, depending on that business as well. So if you have a family, if you have children, and you're going to be depending on the income from that business, you gain freedom, but you also gain some pressure at the same time as that freedom. What else you will gain? You will gain passion, right? You will gain a passion for business, for what you're doing. If you don't have an excessive amount of passion for what it is that you want to start a business in, it is probably not a good idea that you do that, right? You have to have just an incredible amount of passion for helping people. Number one, that qualifies into every single business. If your business isn't solving a problem or helping people, it's probably going to be a very difficult business to make successful. So you will gain even more passion than you had before as you start a business. In that process, you learn so much more detail about how what you're doing kind of solves problems for people, and it creates a massive amount of passion within your life. What else you will gain? You'll gain some new friends. So you'll meet new people. You'll collaborate with people. You'll meet people in whatever industry it is that you get into. And some of those people will become great friends to you. And so it's an awesome process of being able to build a business. You gain friends through those people in your industry. You gain friends through acquiring clients and customers, and even just prospects, people that don't do business with you. They may not do business with you, but sometimes those people become your friends. So that's a great thing. You gain some friends. You gain a ton of knowledge every single day for the past handful of years here since we've started this business. I have gained knowledge every single day, right? Through trials and tribulations, through education, through my passion for wanting to learn. But I've gained a massive amount of knowledge by, just being in business, right? Just having a business, and every day you're presented with different challenges that you have to navigate and overcome. And so it's pretty awesome to gain, that knowledge. I say every year that I feel like, you just gain an exponential amount of knowledge and skill through navigating the waters of entrepreneurship, of business ownership, right? You will also gain some worries, right? You have some things that are always on your mind when you're an entrepreneur or a business owner. You have a lot of responsibility, and sometimes that responsibility starts with just you if you start as a solo entrepreneur. But those worries, one of the analogies that I always use when I'm asked what it felt like when we first started our business, and that was, I felt like I was being chased by a bear every day, right? That, there was this massive amount of pressure to produce, to start making money, to scale and grow a business. And, through that worry, through that being chased by that bear, you learn to be pretty conditioned. And so those worries and those things that kind of weigh on you, they start to turn into strengths, right? So you gain the conversion of worries into strengths in your life. And the last thing that I wrote down on the list here is that you will gain a different version of yourself. I think that entrepreneurship introduces you to the real version of yourself. Whatever you have prepared yourself with is going to come to the surface. Whatever you are unprepared for is going to also bubble up to the surface, right? Those things that you are not knowledgeable of just yet, those things become very apparent to you and sometimes to other people as to what it is that you're not prepared for, right? So you will find a different version of yourself through all the things that I listed, through that freedom. Are you able to manage yourself and your own schedule? Do you have an increased passion in so many different areas of your life? Are you a worrier that carries that with you, or are you a worrier that's able to convert that into fuel? Are you able to make new friends easily, or is that something that becomes challenging to you to acquire customers? And, of course, you gain a different version of yourself through the whole concept of education and knowledge and what you learn along the way. So on the flip side, what do you lose? There's a lot that you can lose, right? Owning a business or starting a business. There's a couple things that came to mind. And, the number one thing, and I think the thing that most holds people back from starting a business, is that you lose what the world would refer to as guaranteed security, right? You lose, if you're getting a paycheck today, if you're currently working for someone and you're considering starting a business, you lose that perception of guaranteed security. And I say perception of guaranteed security because the reality is that that statement, the guaranteed security, or earning a paycheck, is really what held me back for a long time in my life of taking that leap of starting a business. And I just, I have a different perspective on that today than I did, my entire life. And that it is nothing but a perception of guaranteed security, because anything can go away, right? You can lose your job. The company that you work for could be sold. The person that you work for could just shut the business down. So it is a perception of guaranteed security. It is not necessarily security at all, but you lose that ability to have a guaranteed flow of income by a paycheck, right? What else will you lose? Well, you will lose a lot of sleep. I can tell you that, there's definitely been nights and weeks that I lost a significant amount of sleep, trying to build a business, having those concerns, wanting to drive myself to a higher level. And that idea of, man, I need to do more, I need to know more, literally makes you can't shut your mind off. So you will lose some sleep. And the last thing on my list is you will probably lose some friends in the process, right? People that don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, that don't necessarily agree with it, that think all kinds of different things about what your motivation is to build a business. People that just don't understand the dreams that you have and why you have them. And so you will definitely lose some friends in the process. But again, it's friends are also on the list of things that you gain. So you will lose some that maybe don't align with exactly what you want to do, but you will gain a ton in the process as well. So I want you guys to think about that. How do you actually start a business from scratch? And it's much easier than you think. And so I wanted to talk about this because I feel like, entrepreneurship is the future of our country. And I think that the popularity of business ownership, of entrepreneurship, of being independent of large companies. I think that the interest in that and people actually jumping into that is going to grow exponentially over the next 10 to 15 years. I think that more people are looking for freedom and flexibility than they're looking for that guarantee. And technology has shifted that a lot. The ability to grow a business online, or online being a major influence to being able to grow a business quickly, it allows more people to gain that interest, right? They see other people being able to generate an income, whether that be, starting as a side hustle online, or whether it's just something that they jump into, whether it's marketing or selling things online, or just the exposure that a business is able to get through platforms like this, whether it be podcast or Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube. Growing a business I would say that it's easier than ever, right? It doesn't mean that it's easy, but it's easier than it has been in the past. It took a lot more time. It wasn't as fast to be able to accelerate something into a growth period that, could create some level of financial security or comfort in a shorter period of time. So I want you guys to think about that. But entrepreneurship is of interest to a lot of people. It's very popular right now because I think that people are realizing their own talents, and they're realizing that they do have gifts that they are able to put into action to earn an income. And, sometimes those things, again, start as just a side hustle, something that you start online. Maybe you start a business online and you see how that goes, and you continue working your existing job. And then, when that makes sense, when you feel like, there's a sensible point to flip that switch, you can do that. But I want to drive into you guys that have ever considered this, or maybe you have a business now and there's just some room for growth. That marketing and attention is the number one thing that you can do for your business to be able to grow your business. The owner of that business and every single person that's in that business, you have to know a lot of people. You have to meet a lot of people. You have to continue meeting as many people as you possibly can to be able to grow a business quickly in today's world. Because what is more complicated in today's world than it used to be, that you can accelerate a business faster, but what is the negative? What's the opposite side of that? And the opposite side of that is there's a ton of noise out there, right? There's a ton of noise in the marketplace with regard to who do I choose, and you go on Facebook or you go on LinkedIn, and there's every company out there is active almost on social media in some way, shape, or form. So it can make the marketplace very noisy. And so how do you stand out? That is something that you have to get very clear on. How are you going to be unique? If you are just another company, then the marketplace is going to treat you like just another company. But if you can find a unique value proposition, if you can have a culture and some values that stand out to people, that make you more relatable to people than other companies, you're going to gain people's attention, and they're going to tell other people, and your business is going to just start to create some momentum. And as you create momentum, that will exponentially grow. It'll just continue to multiply if your mission and your vision and your values of your business and what you want to do is pure and people can feel that. So, I wanted to share this message this morning, guys, because I get this question a ton, like, how would I go about starting a business? And I'll revisit the list that I went over in the beginning of the show here, but it is very simple to start a business. It starts with an idea or a dream in your mind. It moves along by you just simply making a decision to start. You just say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to find a partner or partners to do this with. And it is without a doubt the best decision that you'll ever make. inside of you if you are built for it. And some people are not, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are built for it and you have that fire inside of you, it is an itch that you definitely have to scratch, because it will never go away. I speak from experience. For years in my life, I wanted to, but I let the fear or the security hold me back from doing it. I would encourage you, if you have that fire inside of you, to reach out to someone that you can have a conversation with. I'm happy to have a conversation with you about it, about how to do this in a more tactical fashion and get into more detail. But literally, it starts with a dream or idea. The next step is a decision to start. And the next thing is just register your business. And you can do that through your state, or you can do it through a company like LegalZoom. It's pretty inexpensive to do something like that, a couple $100. And then literally just start marketing your business. And what does marketing mean? Means, sharing your message, sharing how you can solve people's problems, why you're passionate about what you do, why you started your business in the first place, what problem it is that you're trying to solve, and how you're going to go about doing it. That is marketing. And, in a very simplified way. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to read about. There's a lot to unwire when it comes to everything that I'm mentioning here this morning. But I don't want to overcomplicate it, because the idea of starting a business really is that simple. It is having a dream, making a decision to start, registering your business to make it legal, and start marketing it. And last but not least, the most important step in the entire process is make a decision before you do all of those things, that when you embark on this journey, that you're never, ever going to give up, that no matter what happens, you're going to keep going. And that statement, making that decision to never, ever quit, is how you guarantee that your business will be successful. Because if you never quit and you never give up and you continue to push and you continue to learn from the people around you and connect with the right people and get the right advice and get advice from people that you would be willing to switch places with, that is a critical thing in today's world. There's a million people out there that will offer you advice that may not have ever even done what you are looking to do. And so make sure that that advice is verified, right? That you are getting advice from the right people, from somebody who has already done what you are looking to do. But that's how easy it is, guys. It is that easy. And if you have that fire inside of you, man, I would love to help you in any way that I can, start that process, get things moving, have a conversation about how to do it in more detail. I see people that have a dream and they let that dream die on a vine, and it's a terrible thing, right? Or they lose the passion for it because they don't take action on it for so long. And the world needs more entrepreneurs, more great entrepreneurs, more people that have that never quit attitude. And so if you are one of those people that has that passion to do this, please reach out to me, shoot me a DM, connect with me any way that you know how to. And I would be happy to be part of that journey and to give you any advice that I have. I don't have all the answers, but I am blessed to have a lot of friends that know a lot of stuff. And I am capable of connecting you with the right people to get you the answers that you need. So I hope this message was helpful for you guys this morning. How to build a business from scratch. It's far simpler than you think. And I hope these steps and this whole thing that I just talked through helps anybody out there that's considering doing it. And for those of you who have businesses, I hope it refreshes your memory as to why you started in the first place, and maybe energizes you as you go into this week. But it's very simple, guys. There's lots of people out there that can help you, not just me. Feel free to connect with anybody that's on this stream that you see that are my friends. And, if you need any connections in any place, I am happy to help you in any way that I can connect you with the people that I know and trust. So with that said, wishing you guys an amazing Monday. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you've got your week planned already so that you are starting the week in proactive fashion, not kind of chasing your tail. If you haven't done that yet, if you haven't planned your week already, take the time this morning to sit down and actually write it all out so that you know exactly what you're going to do this week. You want to live your life in a proactive fashion, not reactive. You want to own the week, not have the week own you. So with that said, I will see you guys again tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m., same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Thank you guys for being here.